Hello student, hope you are doing well. Welcome to my class. I am Arun Kumar from Beautiful Mind-IAS. Psychology optional paper 2. Here is a question that has been asked in Civil Service Examination, UPSC Civil Service Examination 2022. Discuss nature and psychological consequences of sexual harassment of women at workplace. Suggest different behavior pattern to overcome it. 20 marks. See, the first problem with the student, I will keep underscoring that they do not understand the question well. See, here in the question there are two components: the discuss nature and psychological consequences of sexual harassment of women at workplace. So you should specify nature and then what are the psychological consequences of sexual harassment at particularly at workplace. So one by one you should discuss. If I try to analyze the nature of sexual harassment, then it comes in various form. It is well documented reality that very first thing is that verbal comment, indecent comment, obscene comment, getting. So such kind of things comes under the domain of harassment. Likewise, non-verbal posture, gesture, showing something that is not respectful, it also come under that one. Then somehow touching, physical touch, that also comes under. So verbal, non-verbal, physical, it is a very common thing. Then one term is that coercion. R is silent, CORCION. You understand its meaning. Coercion is that something when you threaten for the consequences if you have power. So using power to pressurize and threaten and for making sexual advancement. This is also a kind of nature you can say. And sending messages and pictures. So cyber harassment is also there. And one particular kind of thing that discriminating, because you are in power, so discriminating, gender discrimination is one thing, but here I am making a point that when you are gender discrimination, particularly at the workplace, may be intervened with sexual harassment. In this way, you are creating a pressure. So, if you analyze all these things, this is well reported in newspaper also, well documented in various organizations and journals. So you need not to cite any references here. So, okay, first part you will describe the nature. Understood? Now move to the second part. So what are the psychological consequences? Now psychological consequences we cannot say of my own. So when you recall, this is applied psychology. So you need not, everything will not be written in book. You need to make knowledge that you have from different sources, and then you can use them to make your point in the context of this psychological problem. So here say that what are the psychological consequences. So there are various studies also. This is reported in different newspaper. If you are not very apt to read journals and all, but one Indian Indian Journal of Psychiatry have published a cross-sectional studies by interviewing 200 working women, and then Wellness, WILLNESS is a name of the researcher. You can, whatever rows your research references you have, you can cite. In his report he do meta-analysis of 62 studies, and what he found that anxiety, depression and post-traumatic stress reactions are positively correlated with sexual harassment at the workplace. Means when this kind of environment is there, it becomes very hostile environment. Getting, and for some reason, suppose there is no any job, then the lady would need to go to the same workplace. So what kind of mental anxiety, what kind of fear she carries with her, you can understand. So it is also connected with consequences of sexual harassment. But I'm not doing only rape. So if somebody is making comment and indecent remark and all these things, it lowers the self-esteem. Research also indicates that it lowers the self-esteem of the individuals. It lowers the confidence of the individual also. Particularly if women is shy, particularly personality could be a factor. That lead to what? Poor work performance, poor job satisfaction. The whole environment at the workplace become hostile for the lady. So it is not difficult to think of the consequences of different sort of sexual harassments getting at the workplace. And if you have gone through something from newspaper, you can cite references also. See how, I'm not telling you the answer. See this. Many people say that, oh, I do not have material for this. From where you will come to, everything is not written in book. Something is written here also. Use your mind. So nature and consequences, by whatever knowledge you have, common knowledge you have, you should classify as a psychological way. So poor job performance and satisfaction, that has been reported also. If you look at the organizational performance, even this is a well-known thing. Even judiciary have made several remarks that if this kind of environment is created, then who is the worst victim? Women. Who is the most, the component that is most fragile will be most affected. This happens in anatomy and physiology also. If your immune system, for some reason get weakened, then what happens? Which organ is affected? The worst organs that is already weak will be affected. Something like that. So, okay, be specific to sexual harassment for that. Now, question is that suggest different behavior pattern to overcome it. So, I hope you have understood the nature and psychological consequences. So, anxiety, depression, poor low self-esteem, poor work performance, poor job satisfaction, all these things are positively correlated with sexual harassment at workplace. This is well documented things. You can read about that. Now, question is this, that can you connect with some psychological theory also? Yes, social identity theory. Here, just because you are women, just because you are transgender, for example, transgender is not in this scope in the current question. Just because you are discriminated, you face discrimination and different sort of sexual harassment, then the social identity theory says that for various reasons, be it caste identity or something, if you feel discriminated, then just because of that identity, you feel your esteem goes down, your confidence goes down, getting, and you feel marginalized. Social identity given, the theory given by Henry Taswell. Lazarus has also given cognitive appraisal theory. When you feel I do not have control over this thing, you feel helplessness. This is a well-known thing. Don't cite locus of control and all this. This is a personality thing. I am talking about what is the cognitive mechanism at work. So Lazarus theory is well, relevant here. So Lazarus says that when you appraise the situation and you find that I do not have control over this, you feel helpless. So helplessness is there. And when helplessness occurs, then Martin Seligman theory says that what? It leads to depression. It could. And so is the case with other theories. So at least two theories you can cite here. These are relevant theories apart from researches and all. Now, what are the behavioral patterns that could be used to overcome this such a, sexual harassment at workplace? See, very first thing is through training we can promote one thing, be assertive. Be assertive, say that when you need to say no to something, be clear and let people know their limit. So when in the beginning they try to cross their limit, and if you are not saying anything, they will encroach, they will do encroachment of your rights. Means they will be in, they will feel that this is, see, this sexual behavior, instinctual behavior, if it is not stopped for some reason, for fear or something, that then it get manifested. People feel that okay, there is no hindrance in that. So ladies should be assertive also. She should communicate clearly to the person that this is not acceptable and this thing I do not like this thing. Okay. So in the beginning, this is very important thing, that assertiveness. Assertiveness, this thing. That how to be assertive, that could be trained. We have Bandura model to train people how to assertive, and research indicate that it is training is effective also. But what behavior pattern? So I'm saying assertiveness, promoting assertiveness, training assertiveness, encouraging assertiveness in women could be this pattern, assertiveness, be assertive behavior that comes out will be highly effective in from this work from inside. Okay? Second is that if such things happens, psychologically I'm saying assertiveness is a very important thing, because I want to make one more point here, that many line of research, if you analyze, then find that because of various factors, sexual harassment take place. But one important factor is that when women maintain silence, they do not speak out about the issue, then this happens. So assertiveness is very important thing that to regulate such indecent social behavior. Getting? Okay, come forward. I have written that second line will be what? That support system. Under the guidelines of Supreme Court, and now government have also taken the initiative that there are separate cell in every office where complaint could be lodged, complaint with the higher authority and all. And then all the support mechanisms should be available to the women. If something is complained, then action should be taken within the organizations. So departmental inquiry is there. But these are the procedure. But important thing is that seeking support. Supports that are available. Suppose one person is facing some kind of harassment, she should have some channel to complain. She should have someone to listen. It is not like that indifferent authority and all. So a separate channel should be there, because it is a case of gender sensitivity also, women right also. So support system should be, so support seeking behavior. I am talking about what behavior patterns should, question is that help in overcome it. So support seeking behavior. Okay. Third line is that when some individuals have faced such a discrimination, such a harassment, she should advocate for something that would be, more appropriate in making safe environment, secure environment. So the individual should come out, speak out on the issue, and should advocate for the right of the women, for the safe working environment of the women, and she should at every channel should raise this voice, so that even at the higher level, means at the legislation level, environment such a legislation could be passed, some regulation could be made that will facilitate for building a more conducive environment and getting rid of hostile environment. So women who have witnessed and somehow have been victim of sexual harassment, say they can join hand, they can share their own experience, and on the basis of that experience, some customized solution could be worked out for the sake of the whole community, women community I am talking about. So here are a few behavior pattern. Behavior pattern question categorically asks that what are the behavioral pattern that will help. So here behavioral pattern you should identify. These are not the only pattern. You can think of your own, that what patterns you are thinking and what connecting things is that. When I say seeking support, an empowerment approach. When I say that making advocacy for larger safe environment and all. So this is based on community principle, that community force is more powerful. When community means women as a community, they are seeking, they are advocating the right for them. So this way, the question is that this pattern of behavior could help, such kind of sexual harassment related behavior. So at the workplace, you can tell clearly that what sort of behavior are more conducive, what sort of behavior could lead to safe and secure environment, particularly for the women I am talking about. So this question has 3 parts. One by one you should discuss over that and connect with use the psychological frame. But see, this thing, that such reality is very holistic. Only psychology is not involved. So there are several other factors also. But you should approach the question from behavioral perspective. Getting that what are the issue and what could be done in order to control sexual harassment at the workplace. So I think you have understood this thing. And this is the outline of the answer. There may be some variation in the content, but more or less this should be the answer. I hope you have understood. And if you are I am discussing the series for all the model answer for 2022. Then I will discuss 21, 20 like that, because students say that there are we do not have model answers in market. So that is why we have taken initiative. We are discussing PYQ, and for your information, those who are preparing for 2024, we are coming up a new batch, offline online batch, separate from 13th of May. Okay, and you can check out the detail on our website beautifulmind.in, and admission is going on. Second thing is that we have started admission in our psychology advanced test series for 2023. That will be from immediately after prelims. Date is also given. You can check out the detail and you can approach us if you require feedback on your answers. Getting? But remember, this psychology is not a very clumsy subject. It is a behavioral side. If you understand the component, then even in paper 2, you can score very well. Thank you very much.